That's just sports, baby.
Crowd goes wild, strawberry ice, bringing fire and style. Reds, Bengals, Bearcats, all in my zone. This is my stage, my mic, my throne. Boom, like a hammer, I'm breaking the game. Strawberry ice, you're gonna know my name. Sports Talk Thunder, hear the podcast roar. Cincy's line is kicking down the door. Step into the ring where the passion ignites. Talking sports all day and all night. From the field to the court to the roaring stands. Strawberry ice with the world in my hands. Boom, like a hammer, I'm breaking the game. Strawberry ice, you're gonna know my name. Sports Talk Thunder, hear the podcast roar. Cincy's line is kicking down the door.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, the Iceman, Jeff Trunapole, and as always, I bring you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio. And as always, I'm coming to you live from the Ice Cave, and the Ice Cave is brought to you by Priority Lawn and Landscaping. You got that property you don't want to cut. I don't know, maybe you need some shrubbery done or some landscaping done or some mulch done or I don't know, anything, and I mean anything. Lawn and landscaping required. Think Priority Lawn and Landscaping. Actually, don't think it. Call them at 513-430-6114. That's 513-430-6114. You can also follow them on Facebook, where you can see some of the jobs and stuff they do. But when you message them on Facebook or you call Johnny, tell him you heard about it from Sports with Strawberry Ice. What is up to everybody in the chat? We've got Stranger in there, Brad's in there, Tony Blazin, and William. All right, boys and girls, we are at day 3 of Bengals training camp. It wasn't hot as yesterday, but it was freaking packed. I had to stand in line to get into practice, and it was literally wrapped all the way around. That was the longest line I have ever stood in to get into training camp. So, packed time, packed house, a lot to be excited about the Bengals. Let's get to my guests today. Let's first of all bring in the man from Bengals and Brews. He knows all about the draft. He knows all about the Bengals. And he just knows a lot of shit. He's none other than Dale Altman. What's up, Dale?
I drink and I know things.
You drink and you know things. Yeah, I'll drink to that. I like that. That's good. All right. Well, let's get to a guy who's probably not drinking.
Yeah, he probably also knows a lot more than me.
Yeah, he's a little bit more professional probably than we are. Yeah, he's been down there. Actually, he was on camera, and then he went away, so I'm kind of waiting for him to come back on camera before I actually introduce him, because all I see is an empty chair right there now. So, but it's Caleb No from Channel 9. Him and Marshall do a great job. Oh, there he is. I see him now. They do a great job with Channel 9. I had this whole big plan of introducing him and making it sound really cool, and now it's just like, here's Caleb.
You see me?
What's up, brother? Yeah, what's going on? Yes, sir.
Yeah, it said I was backstage, so I was relishing in the moment of making my grand entrance. But no, that'll do just fine for me, man.
Caleb is here. What's up, brother? So,
Be here.
How was your day at training camp today? It was hot, not as hot as yesterday, but it was hot.
No, I'm with you. So I think from what I think, I'm not a weather. I'm a sports guy, not a weather guy, but I think it was still hot, but we just had a little bit of a breeze. And we even talked to Evan McPherson after practice, and he was talking about how when he was kicking there at the end, there was a right to left wind, which, like, as a kicker, you'd rather there be no wind. As a media guy or a fan out there watching practice,
I want wind. Yeah, I want some wind. Now, actually, I'm glad you brought that up, because Evan is 12 for 12 right now at camp. And people say he had a bad year last year, and you being a former kicker yourself, or punter, actually. Talk about what, and Skinny said this on his podcast, but I noticed it too. He's doing something a little different. He's got like a little twist or something. And you guys said you talked to him after practice about it. Is Evan doing something different to try to get more consistent in his kicks this year, or what have you found out about that?
He's going back to himself. He's going back to his old self. So I found it really interesting. He told us today after practice that I believe he said it was following his rookie year, he decided to tweak his form a little bit, make some changes to what he was doing. Basically, and I'll put this in as simple terms as I possibly can. He had kind of a little bit of had like a right to left draw on his kicks, which is not a bad thing.
Right.
But he thought that it might help his consistency if he were able to remove that right to left draw and instead get more of an arrow straight flight on the ball. But because of those tweaks, it actually had a negative impact on his kicks. And I thought that was really interesting because I'm like, you had a really good year as a rookie.
Why would you mess with it?
Yeah, if it broke, don't fix it. I was
right.
Like, were there any? I was like, why would you make those changes? Why did you decide to? What led to that? And he was like, well, as a pro athlete, you're always trying to perfect everything. You're aiming for perfection. The thing is, you're never going to get there. He was like, but I was trying to aim for perfection. And so, long story short, he's going back to how his technique that he used as a rookie, which, long story, I mean, in simplest form possible, his approach came from a little wider and he used a little more hip swing for power before. He tried to make it more of a straight on kick. And he's going back to more of like a wide approach.
Wouldn't kicking it with the draw, wouldn't that help compensate for the win like we had today? I mean, if you're going straight on, there's not a whole lot of compensation. It's kind of like hitting a golf shot. I mean, I'm lucky if I hit the damn ball, but golfers hit it with a draw depending on the wind and where the placement of the hole is.
So the kicking and playing golf are pretty similar, but not necessarily in that way. Is similar, but not necessarily in that way. The biggest difference kicking is when there's wind, you typically, now this changes if you get like past 50 yards, but generally if you're kicking and it's windy, you want to hit on the lower part of the ball. You want to hit lower on the ball because you get a faster spin and it cuts through the wind, as opposed to like with a slower spin on the ball, you might get a little more power, but the wind is going to affect it a lot more.
I got you. Dale, you got anything you want to ask there, Caleb?
Well, not about that, not about the kicking, because I don't know enough about it. But I guess to stick with kicking, looks like Uncle Rico is still bombing balls out there and looking good.
Yeah, and look, that I think so. That's important, obviously. I think the average fan probably overlooks the importance of having a real good, consistent punter. Kick after kick after kick. But you also got to think about, the way that the Bengals do and the way a lot of teams do it is your punter is also your holder for field goals. And you think about the number of times that operation, they changed long snappers over the last few years. They changed punters 2 or 3 times over the last few years. So that operation from snap to hold to kick, you want that to be consistent. But when you're changing guys, when you're rotating, from one holder to a different holder to a different holder, snapper to a different snapper, like all these guys are good. Like they're all good. But as with anything else, like it's a feeling out process anytime you change that. So I think just maintaining that consistency, I think will go a long way. You talk about the punting situation. I think that even helps the kicking situation.
Yeah, Good, Dale.
I was just going to continue with that because William Wagner is in camp. A lot of people's long snapper one. Is he getting a look? Have you got to see much of that operation? And I would assume Cal Adamitis is clearly the guy.
Yeah,
unless something.
Cal Adamitis is the guy. I think Cal Adamitis would have to just have a horrible camp to lose that position. But at the same time, this is the NFL, man. They're going to bring guys in and they want healthy competition everywhere. Obviously, you don't want real true position battles all over the field because you do want to be able to make progress in terms of, getting, moving forward with the scheme and the playbook and everything else. And position battles, you don't want to have everything focused on position battles all the time, but you want healthy competition. And all it's going to do is push guys.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of the healthy competition, what's your thought on the first 3 days of the defense? I think they've first day they looked good. I mean, Joe Burrow even said that they won the day. The offense has come back the last couple of days, but there's still some plays there where they've ripped balls out and stuff, and I think they're looking better. What's your thoughts on what you've seen from the defense so far?
I think they look like a defense with a chip on their shoulder, and why not?
Yeah, they should have one. They better have one. Everybody's talking crap about them.
It's a unit that has gotten just criticized for over a year.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think they got a chip on their shoulders. They've practiced like that. They've been high energy, they've been intense, and I think that's what Al Golden wants to see. I think the fact that they're practicing in the morning, I think there has been an emphasis on, like, if we're going to go in the morning, we're going to get out there and really go. Like we're not,
it's more fast tempo is what I've noticed.
The idea is, like, if you're practicing in the morning, that means you're not lifting before practice. Whereas like practicing in the afternoon, a lot of times you've been in the weight room, you've gotten the lift earlier in the day. Like, if you're practicing in the morning, we're putting everything we have into practice, and we want high energy. So I think that's been part of it too.
Yeah, I've noticed just I like the fight I've seen with the DBs, and that's the biggest thing is the DBs. I've seen them, like, I can't tell Brett. I think it was him made it rip the ball out of T's hands. I think day 1 or day 2. I can't remember what it was. He made a pretty good play. Stone, what's your thoughts on Stone? I think Stone has looked better. I'm not saying he's Jesse Bates or anything, but I think he's looked better in 3 days. But I mean, what's your thoughts on Stone right there?
Yeah, I think he's got a year under his belt with this team and with the other faces. Obviously, he's learning a new playbook defensively, just like everybody else is. At this point, he's a veteran guy who knows what he's doing, and I think all in all, based on what I've seen, and it's early, man. I mean, you got to think.
Yeah, it's only day 3. I mean, we're not going to send him to the Hall of Fame now.
No, right. But no, I mean, based on what you've seen the first 3 days, he's made some plays. He's made some plays out there. And, like, yeah, another thing you got to realize and keep in mind is, like, this is probably the best offense in football. And and they've got ones against ones every day going, in training camp. And so, when you're playing that position, you're probably up against, they've had Cam Taylor-Britt up, one-on-one a lot with T and Jamar, but I mean, you're getting one of those guys every time you step up to the line.
And speaking of guys who outside of T and Jamar, that seems to be pretty impressive, and I'm just glad he seems to have his head on straight, because I think that was a big part of it. But Jermaine Burton, what have you seen from Jermaine Burton, and is there any push for maybe they're splitting reps at 3? I don't think Yosevich gets replaced immediately as number 3. But situational-wise, hey, we want to get Burton in here because he's a great deep threat. Yosevich in the red zone, you're a great red zone threat. What are your thoughts on wide receiver 3? And could Burton really make a push for that? Because we know he has the talent.
Could he? Yes. Will he? I think that's the expectation.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? I think the expectation, I'm not saying every down wide receiver,
right. Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to draft a guy that's that talented, you're going to take him in the 3rd round like that. You're not drafting him. You're not bringing him in and keeping him around here to play on the scout team or something. You know what I mean?
Right,
You're keeping that guy around. You're drafting that guy and keeping him around here because you think that he can make a high level impact on this offense. So yeah, I mean, I think that's the expectation, but I think that'll start to shake out during training camp. He hasn't been running with the ones, I would say, consistently, but he has been running with the ones some. So, like I said, I think that's the expectation.
He's made some pretty good plays. Oh, good, Dale.
Well, I was just going to say part of that is probably T was a little limited today from what I heard. I don't think it was an actual injury, but a little dehydrated. I don't think he got a ton of snaps today. Gives Burton a bigger opportunity, which honestly I'm good with. Let Burton get as much opportunity as possible. Sticking with the weapons, Noah Fant, I know he was in for a visit. Now he's visiting the Saints. What would you envision his role to be? And do you think the Bengals are still in that mix to sign a guy like Noah Fant, who's still only 27 years old with a ton of talent?
Yeah, I mean, and you know, I say why not in terms of, you know, are they still in that discussion? I think that obviously I think Eric All was in line to play a massive role.
Yes, he was.
You know, for this team, especially when you consider the fact that he was a rookie. Like, I think he was in line to play a relatively large role with this team. And then, you know, you still see him out there with the team. He's as active as he can be, considering he, you know, can't move around a ton. He's out there in shorts and a t-shirt. He's hanging out with the guys, but he's not available. He's a guy that you don't have right now. So I think that if you can bring him in and he plays that role, like whatever the role that you had in mind for Eric All, if you can bring Fant in and have him fulfill that role, I think that's what you'd probably be looking for.
Now, if they don't do that, this is my what I loved about All is you could put him in at every down, and you would not know. No, it wouldn't give it away if he's in if we're running or passing. With Drew Sample's in there, most likely it's a run. Not every time, but most likely it is. That's the part I loved about All. You can put him on there, and you can do that 2 tight end set with him and Mike G. And Fant just needs to look at what Hayden Hurst and CJ Uzomah and all them have gotten. They come here for 1 year with jackpot, and they freaking go somewhere else to get a whole bunch of money. So that's where I'm hoping they get him signed. But now, was he in town? Did he actually show up physically in Cincinnati yesterday? Was he actually here?
I never saw him.
Okay.
I looked at on the practice field, and I was told that he was not out there on the practice field. I do believe, based on what I heard, he was in town.
Okay.
Yeah, he got here at like 4 or so, but I'm not supposed to know any of those things. So, it was well after practice.
We got the inside source from Dale here.
There you go. He drinks and he knows things.
Yeah. Hey. He's a smart guy. Hey, if you ever need anything for draft guide information, that's the guy to talk to right there, Dale. He knows his draft stuff. So today, what did you notice with the offense today? I think when Burrow came out and said they lost the first day, he was going to cook them the next day. He pretty much did, and it looks like the offense is kicking in. Just what how much farther ahead is the offense this year from right now compared to day 3 or beginning of camp last year, which I know is totally different because Jamar wasn't in camp. But I think Burrow, when he's not coming off an injury or anything like that. I think that just all of that, to me, the offense looks like it's run a lot smoother than it did. And those are all big issues of why, but what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that no matter what, like, I mean, the Bengals offense is like an all-world offense, right? Like, I mean, you look at the things, the dudes that they've got in place. I mean, like, it's not a secret to any of us. Like, that's an all-world, all-pro offense. The defense is always going to be, and I say this, even with the new defensive coordinator, even with the fact that this defense was so bad last year, day 1 of training camp, the defense is almost always going to be ahead of the offense, man. Like, even in this situation where you have all these elements, you have all these playmakers on offense, your defense is still figuring things out, they're learning a new system and all these things. Still, when you're out there, you know, day 1 of training camp, the defense is going to be a little ahead of the offense. I think that's like what we saw on Monday, or on Wednesday, I should say. Joe has such a high like standard for what he wants this offense to look like that it's awesome to see, because like as a fan, when you see that and you see your quarterback go out there and have a poor day, in his words, on day 1 of training camp, he comes into talks to the media, addresses it and says it went poorly, and then turns around like I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but like it almost seemed like he was treating day 2 like it was like his revenge game. Like,
right, exactly.
Pissed off Joe Burrow. You got to pissed off Joe Burrow the last 2 days. For what?
This is day 2 of training camp, man. But like you gotta love that, dude. Like,
yes, that's awesome. I love that. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. So we did have an injury sort of. He walked out the field, but Lucas Patrick, do you have any updates on him and just moving forward with him? Is he going to be okay? Is he what's the update on him? Have you heard?
I didn't get to speak with him after practice or anything, but yeah, I mean, you got to think like one of the most intriguing position battles coming into training camp.
Yeah.
What's that?
On offense, that right guard job.
Yeah,
it scares us. It scares us.
It's scary.
Yeah, and really both guard positions. I mean, we had to sit down on Monday with Zach and both coordinators and the front office and things. And one thing we asked was about position battles on offense specifically, and the response was like, yeah, I mean, it's guard positions. Outside of that, like for the most part, this offense is
it's set except for that, which it's pretty important. Two pretty important positions to protect Joe Burrow.
Exactly. And so long story short, I mean, that's one of the most intriguing and you could say important position battle. In fact, all of my coverage today after practice, or not all, but a lot of my coverage after practice today was focused on the guard position and the fact that Dylan Fairchild is taking every first team snap at left guard.
I like that. I mean, if he's going to be your guy, you let him prove that he can't be the guy. Give him the snaps.
Yeah. I agree. I like it. Like if this guy is your long-term plan, put him in there.
Right.
Second, third day of training camp, put him in there. Let him get these reps. Because the alternative is like you get to week 3 and it's like you're gonna stick him in now. No, let him make his mistakes in training camp.
Right.
With the first team. Let him make his mistakes with the first team and understand that that's the expectation. Like you expect those mistakes to be made at some point, and that's okay.
Yeah,
it's training
now. Get him out of the way.
It's not week 3 when when everything seems like it's on the line. Now, like let's hope. Like I know Bengals fans are hoping that this season, when you get to week 3, you're not staring down an 0-2 hole.
Oh my God, I hope not.
Yeah,
but. All I'm saying is like you'd rather that guy make his mistakes on day 3 of training camp.
Well, and I have said that if he plays, I would rather see him in there, let him make his mistakes. He's a rookie. He's got tons of talent. He's 21 years old. He's only going to get better. Cordell Volson, we've seen it. There's no reason to have Cordell Volson really competing for that left guard job. So I'm glad Fairchild's taking all the snaps. But the right guard spot with Patrick, if it is an injury that's going to keep him out to start the season, I know they're high on Cody Ford for God knows what reason. But do you see them potentially kicking the tires on a free agent? I know Will Hernandez is out there. Obviously, Brandon Scherf, he might retire. But Dalton Risner's out there who's playing mainly left guard for Risner. So like a Will Hernandez coming off a knee injury if he's healthy. Or do you think they're just going to roll with the guys in the building regardless?
I think a lot of that's going to depend upon probably the evaluation, but it seems like they really like this guy, Dylan Fairchild. And I will say he really fits what they want at that guard position, and really on the offensive line as a whole. So I wouldn't I wouldn't bank on them bringing a guy in necessarily. If I think that he's their guy. And I mean, I'll go back to like what I said about Cal Adamitis at the long snapper position, like almost to the same extent, except for the fact that Cal has, been around for a year or a couple of years at this point. And how long has Cal been there?
Probably 3 seasons.
He might be
Clark got hurt. Yeah, Clark got hurt. He was on the practice squad, so that was nice they had him there.
Cal's been around longer than I realized that he's been around.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I mean, back to that. I think that Fairchild's your guy until he's not.
Right? Yeah, we're like you said, Lucas. The one thing I've noted, like when I was up on the bridge watching it at minicamp when he wasn't practicing, he still had that leg sleeve on, and today he had that leg sleeve on. To me, that's just that's just alarming to me. To always have that on there. So there's an issue going on there. to always
Well,
have
he's
that
also
leg.
a 10-year. He's a 10-year vet, Jeff. So
Yeah.
he's not like a young pup.
Yeah.
If he's
Well, I know that,
dealing
but
with
that's where I'm worried is the injuries.
Yeah.
That's the whole worry for me. I think if he's healthy, I think he'll be okay. It's just, is he going to be healthy? And there's no way for us to know that. But that's the concern for me. That's where I wish I would have went and got somebody. But yeah, let's see here, nor there. Hey, we got a $5 super chat from Fuzzy Balls. Appreciate it. It says, sorry I'm late. How was Murphy looking? Any progress? Because he could make us all breathe a little easier. What's your thoughts on Miles Murphy there?
Yeah, he was carted off yesterday. It was cramps.
Cramps, yeah.
I mean, I talked to him very briefly in the locker room, and he was fine. I mean, right after practice that day, after Thursday's practice, after he was carted off, like you see those words, you see carted off, and you're like,
oh yeah, that's where I'm like, oh crap.
and you're talking about a position that is already thin with Trey and Shamar not being present at camp. And the way I put it on TV last night was like, it's a very small glimpse into one of the biggest fears among Bengals fans right now. Is like, you're already missing, obviously your star, your stud, your best player on the defense, and Trey Hendrickson, and then Shamar, who knows, man, like, you could say what you want. He didn't have the production in college or whatever, but like, this front office seems to be very, very optimistic about what he can be as an NFL player, as a disruptor.
Gotta get in the camp first, though.
But that's what I'm saying. So like, I mean, if he gets in here and whatever, like, he could play a lot of snaps at that position his rookie year. My point is, both of those guys are not here. Right. So you have Joseph Osai and Miles Murphy, running with the ones on defense. Then one of them goes down. And like, that's what I'm saying. He's back. He's fine.
Yeah, he's fine. Yeah, it's just
for
a scary
me,
part.
It was like a small glimpse into, like, what if it was worse? Then we'd be sitting here going, dude, like, what is happening right now? Like, but that's the reality in the NFL. Injuries do happen. And I'm not like trying to, speak any of that into the universe, but like, injuries do happen.
They do.
So I think that's one of the biggest fears you have right now. That's why it's so important. Trey is going to be okay. Like, Trey's a pro. I mean, he led the NFL in sacks last year. On the flip side, it's a new defense. So he's up against that. But then Shamar, like, dude's got to get in here, man. And like, I'm not putting that on him, and I'm not putting it on the Bengals. I'm just saying, whatever side you want to take on that, he needs to be at practice.
Yes.
Like, whether it's like, I can say it too. All right, the Bengals need to get him here to practice, like, figure it out, or Shamar needs to figure it out and get whatever side you want to take on that.
He needs to be here. Yeah. That's my whole thing. It's like, I mean, my personal opinion, I think the agent's screwing him. I think he's getting bad advice. But either way, Shamar, like, I talked about this with Richard Skinner on the show yesterday. If he doesn't come in till late next week, he might be just screwing his whole rookie year up, because you've missed all of minicamp. You missed so far all of training camp. I mean, I'm going to sound like a broken record for people who watch this daily, but he has a golden opportunity to come in to a playoff team, maybe potential Super Bowl team, and be a major impact player for them, because at a position that they need him to be, and he's not here, and he's worried about this wording or whatever it is. But in my opinion, he doesn't see the whole picture. Like, dude, just come in. There were already doubts about you when they drafted you, because you only had 4 sacks in college. You said you wanted to come in here and prove everybody wrong. Well, the way to do that is to get your ass to the camp and start working. Sitting there out and waiting doesn't help you do that at all. So that's the part for me is he's getting on the verge of just punting on this whole rookie season, because he's going to be so far behind everybody else. And that's the part where I'm like, you're getting bad advice. I don't care what the language is. It is what Mike Brown says, don't go to jail, which I'm sure there's more to it than that. Just don't do anything freaking stupid. And you just get in here, get yourself established to get that second contract. That's what you have to try and do to better your family. Quit worrying about this. Is my opinion anyway. Dale, what do you got?
Yeah, I've spoke on the Shamar thing, as anyone who has a podcast or a show has spoke on the Shamar thing.
Yeah, every day for me.
Just one more time. One more time.
Yeah, one more time.
I'm typically very, very pro player, but as more details come out and you hear like, oh, this is a common language with all these other teams. Abdul Carter, it's similar language in his contract, and he was the 3rd overall pick. Man, there's 2 guys not signed. It's you and Quinshon Judkins. Judkins literally has a legal issue hanging over his head right now. So it makes sense why he's probably, and his agent and the Browns are haggling over that. There's no reason that Shamar Stewart shouldn't be in here. And I don't want to crap on his agent. I don't know the man.
I will. I think he's a dork.
But to be fair, like, for why I could feel this way, Zay Flowers was his biggest player that he had. Mm-hmm. Zay Flowers dropped him the minute he was in contention for his second contract. James Cook, his other biggest client, Buffalo running back, he's having issues about contracts with Buffalo. And I just think the agent's giving bad advice. He wants to be the guy or whatever, and it's not good. And I hope that Shamar and the people around him, it's not even about dropping your agent, but it's like, hey, I'm going to just go ahead and sign this so I can get in camp and get my work in, because he does have things that he needs to get better at. Like, there's a reason he only had 4.5 sacks. He doesn't finish tackles a lot. He rushes upfield without a plan a lot of times, like studying draft-wise prospects. When we drafted him, like, all the talent in the world, 10 RAS score, so many good things. But if he doesn't get it, he needs the work. He needs the reps. He needs NFL coaching. He needs to get better at things. And you can go and you can work out and run on a treadmill and lift weights all you want at Texas A&M. But you are doing yourself no favors not being in camp. And I think he will literally miss his entire rookie season if he's not in camp in another week or two.
Yeah, that's me. I'm like, it's on the verge of that. And a month ago, I'll be like, yeah, there's no way he might miss like a day, maybe 2. I said I didn't think he was gonna miss that, because I said it wouldn't do him any good. Well, I was wrong. We're at day 3 and he's not here, and there's no signs of him coming, and it's just frustrating. I mean, I feel bad for the kid, because I really think he's getting bad because, I mean, Caleb, I don't know if you know this or not, but his agent was actually going to go on a podcast like mine. Well, not this podcast. He was going to go on a friend of ours, Drew Garrison and Big Lauren. He was going to go on their podcast. Like, we're fans. Like, going on our podcast does you no good. I mean, he actually reached out to my buddy Bengals captain, the agent did, and he's trying to get Bengals fans on their side. I'm like, that Mike Brown and the Bengals don't care what we think about contracts. Like, getting us on their side will not help you in negotiation. That's why I'm just like, everything this guy's doing makes no sense to me of how he's trying to handle this, and he's trying to flip it. Like, Carson, does he not know Carson Palmer threatened to retire, and Mike Brown said, "Go ahead, retire"? It's just like the guy's trying. I think he's lost. I mean, the battle's over. Sign your contract, get in here. You're going to hurt your client's future. Is where I'm at.
It's the unfortunate side of business in the NFL, you know, and I'm not trying to chalk this up like it's a normal, you know, business deal in the NFL, because this one certainly is under more extraordinary circumstances, right? I mean, this is a rookie that's holding out of camp. It's been 3 days of camp, doesn't have his contract signed yet. So yeah, you're talking about, you know, much different circumstances than a lot of negotiations that happen in the NFL. But, you know, sometimes negotiations can be ugly, and unfortunately that's where we're at right now. And we're at that point, you know, in a position with a position group that's very, very important in football. Like, yes. I mean, in 8-year-old football, that's an important position.
Oh, by the way, he does represent Baby Gronk, so I mean he does have a superstar on as
There
far
you
as
go. Yeah, I mean it's a very important position, and it's a position that the Bengals are trying to figure out right now, with Trey Hendrickson also not in house and not practicing. So I mean, the thing about it is, when if Shamar were here today, like if he was practicing Friday, day 3 of camp, there's a pretty decent chance he'd be getting some very quality
Exactly.
With the first team defense, going up against Orlando Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Somebody said that Orlando Brown, Amarius Mims, they're not in you don't play those guys in the SEC. I know one of them played in the SEC, but Mims is an NFL player. There's a difference between Amarius Mims and Orlando Brown and anybody he went against, or not SEC. He was in the SEC. Sorry, but anybody he went against there, those guys are legit dudes that you're going against every day. You're going to get better going against them.
But it's valuable reps. It's valuable reps that you're also getting with the way your defensive coordinator, Al Golden, wants you to play these things, and he's not getting it. Go ahead, Caleb. Sorry.
No. You're fine. I just so Al Golden, this was probably, I don't know. It was probably 2 months ago. Somebody asked Al Golden, how you put it in perspective, the fact that, some of the guys on defense are not there, like Trey Hendrickson, for example. I'm pretty sure that Trey was the guy that they were asking about specifically. And Al was like, I try to look at it in a positive light, and that when these guys aren't here, there are other guys getting valuable reps. Like, it can actually benefit us. Okay. But Shamar should be that guy.
Yeah, he should be one of those guys.
Yeah. And he's also not here. So, and so that's what I'm saying. Like, with Trey not here, you try to look at that in, like, I don't want to say a positive, like you try to see the silver lining there.
Yeah, it's more opportunity for him to shine if he shows
more reps.
More reps, yeah.
Not happening. So exactly. I mean, it's happening for Joseph Osai and Miles Murphy and Cam Sandoval, but your first round pick, a guy that you have now invested 4 to 5 years in, I guess not, but you're trying.
That's anything in him yet. He had signed.
You're trying to invest 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And that's the guy you want taking a lot of those quality, valuable reps.
Mm-hmm.
And that like we go on and on and on, but I mean the
I've been doing it for about 2 months now.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
Yeah, doing a daily podcast, you kind of talk about the same stuff.
Well, let's switch it up. Let's talk cornerbacks. I know you got a super chat. All right, get the fuzzy balls of super chat. Fuzzy ball.
Let's get fuzzy balls super chat here. John Ross 2.0, great numbers that don't translate on the field. He said he never worked out for the Bengals. That's what Shamar Stewart has said. He doesn't remember working out for him. So, which is, I take his word for it. I don't know if he did or not, but
I think they met. I think they met at the combine, and he just kind of didn't mention that or whatever. I don't hold that against him, but yeah, he didn't have like a top 30 visit.
Yeah. So, all right, what were you going to say, Dale? You want to talk about what, cornerbacks? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, switch it up to cornerbacks. DJ Turner, a guy I'm very high on, Juan Drago. It seems like it's only 3 days into camp. I know he's coming off an injury, but I feel like they are targeting him and going at him. Meanwhile, guys like Cam Taylor-Britt is making good plays and limited opportunities because they're not going at him too much. You also got Josh Newton. Dak's coming off the injury, so a wide-ranging, how does the cornerback room look? I still think Dak's best position is as a slot corner because that's what he played at Michigan, but it's him changing roles for a third straight season. So what is your general thoughts on cornerback, and should I not give up my stock in DJ Turner?
No, it would be way too, keep the stock with DJ Turner. He's made some play. Look, he's still a young guy, right? He's made, and he's facing you one-on-one with T. Higgins in practice.
That guy's pretty good. He's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm not using that as an excuse. Maybe I am using that as an excuse. Maybe that's exactly what I was doing. But he's made good plays he's made bad plays in 3 days of camp. Again, it is just the first 3 days of camp in a brand new system. Too early to give up any kind of stock on DJ Turner. I think he could be a very good pro corner. We spoke to Dax Hill yesterday for like just a few minutes in the locker room, and this is only my intuition. I can't even necessarily say, well, he said this and this is why I think this. This is purely intuition on my part, but I just get the feeling that he has matured as an NFL guy. And sometimes an injury can do that, right? Because it forces you to take a few steps back and see it from thousands of feet in the air, see the operation from 1,000 feet up. He had in speaking to him yesterday, it's the first time I've talked to him. I don't think I talked to Dax face to face in the summer. He just seemed more mature, more, he gets drafted highly, he gets moved positions a few times, and he's having to learn all these things. He always seemed like a young player that was trying to get his footing. Yesterday, when I spoke to him, he just seemed confident. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I actually thought he looked pretty good as outside corner last year for a little bit. We did see him play.
Yeah. Well, and again, let's see that translate to the field. I'm talking about a 3-minute locker interview.
Right.
I'm talking about purely intuition. Let's see it translate on the field. One thing that stuck out to me today, they were in helmets only, no real pads.
Right.
There was a throw over the middle to Mike Gesicki, and Dax stepped up and
popped him. Yeah.
Popped him a little bit. And I think Mike Gesicki, I think his first reaction was to be to get big, and Dax was they were fine. There was no
right. He's what the hell are you doing? You're supposed to hit me.
Yeah, I think Mike Gesicki was a little bit shook by it. I think he was whoa, because you don't expect that when you're in helmets only, but I think Dax is ready to go. I mean, wouldn't you be you feel like you're kind of starting to hit your stride, and then boom, you're done for the year. Then you have to sit out. You have to watch all these things happen, watch all these things play out. You see a change in defensive coordinator happen. I promise you, he's ready to get out there, man, and he seems like it.
What's your thoughts?
They also gave him I was just going to say they gave him the vote of confidence with the 5th-year option, so maybe that's part of it too. So he's here for 2 years, and it's wherever they want to line me up, I'm ready to go. I'm going to make plays, and I'm going to do it at corner and not safety. He was just probably never a safety. That's how it is sometimes.
Well, and I think the other thing is for a guy like Dax, it always has seemed like there's a well, but. You know what I mean? It's this could be his year. Well, but he had to learn a new position.
Right, right.
Well, this could, they gave him the 5th-year option. Well, but he's coming off an injury. It's it's almost like this is prove it time for Dax, and he knows that.
What's your thoughts on Cam Taylor-Britt as far as having a bounce back year? I mean, it's only 3 days in camp, but I think he's looked pretty good.
I think last year was maybe a maturing period for him too, and almost like a sink or swim type thing. I mean, a guy like Cam Taylor-Britt, he was getting a lot of praise as one of the top up and coming, I guess you could call it, corners in the league. And he gets burned a few times, and it's okay, well, who is this guy? Is this one of the top corners in the league, or is he maybe a liability? Is he a bona fide starting corner in this league? And I think he probably felt that, I think he felt, and Cam's a major chip on his shoulder type of guy. I think I talked about this defense having a chip on its shoulder. I think Cam wears that.
Yeah.
On behalf of both himself and on behalf of the defense, because the defense feeds off of his energy. He's a big time. I mean, they call him Juice. You know what I mean? They feed off of his energy. So I mean, I see Cam with a chip on his shoulder. I talked to him yesterday. Cam's one of the more interesting guys to to talk to, right? Because he's just like, he tells you how it is. Like I asked him specifically about the play where T was like coming down with the ball on the sideline, who was falling back, and Cam just ripped it out. It was a nice defensive play.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I asked Cam about it, and he was just like, it's man on man, like my job is to win the rep. He was like, T is one of the best in the world, but it's me against T Higgins on that play, and I got to win this rep.
Mm-hmm.
And so like maybe that's part of the maturing that's happened with Cam Taylor-Britt over the last year or so, is that it's like, forget this bigger picture type stuff. Like it's like you win this rep, and even this portion of a rep. It's like one play, one rep at a time.
Singular focus. Get it more focused on what you are now, right in front of you, than what could be.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, I drink and I know things. He was dealing with some off-field stuff, and just not doing necessarily all the right things off the field all the time last year. He's very locked in this year. So I will say that to just add a little bit. And I think contract year, but it's not just that. There was baby mama drama. There was all kinds of things going on, and he's past that, and he's in a good headspace too.
Remember, he drinks and knows things, Caleb. So yeah, you got to keep that in mind. That's what I do.
But I mean, that's so important, right? Like, how many times have we like come home and been on the phone with somebody and they're like, how'd work go today? And you're like, well, and like the answer you give, it has nothing to do with work.
Right.
I mean, like the answer you give is like, well, I got 4 hours of sleep last night. And like, my friend is over here saying this to me, and this person, and it's like, I couldn't even focus on work. Mm-hmm. Like these are human beings. Like, I think the mistake that a lot of fans make sometimes is like, you see these dudes as robots, like they're human beings. And so I think like, yeah, when you got things going on,
mm-hmm. Life happens, man. Life happens.
Life happens. And like
exactly.
we're all living our own individual lives, and like the clearer your headspace can be. I'm not even talking about like CTB at this point.
Just in general.
Right. In general.
In general.
Life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just talking about people, right? Like, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, generally speaking, if you get 8 hours of sleep, you're going to do better at work the next day than if you get 3.5 hours of sleep.
Oh, no wonder I suck at work all the time. I never get 8 hours.
I'm right there with you, though.
I'm lucky if I get 5. I want to roll that into let's go. I'll put all 3 of us here. Breakout player this year. Mine is Chase Brown. I'm not going to take credit for this.
Come on now. He already broke out last year. That is such a cop-out answer.
Well, let me finish what I was going to say.
Define breakout for me.
Well, finish what I was saying. I think I'm not going to take credit for this. Skinny said this first, but I think he's got a chance of breaking James Brooks' yards per scrimmage record. It was 1,700 and something yards. I can't remember the total numbers. That's what I think. I think he can do that because of what I saw from when he became the number 1 running back. That's the guy I got.
Well, I want to go before Caleb. Caleb.
We're going to make Caleb do the hard one.
I was just getting ready to say, like, I
got an easy answer for Miles Murphy, but I'm going to go Jordan Battle just because it's his first full time being a starter at safety. And I feel like he was a leader at Alabama. He was a starter for 4 seasons under Nick Saban. I think he's a really good player. He's been in coverage in the limited stuff I've seen from camp, but he is also so physical. And I think Jordan Battle is going to have a astronomical, huge season at safety.
We need him
for
to.
the Bengals. I'm taking Jordan Battle before Caleb can take it.
All right, Caleb, you're up.
Those are both really good answers. I think that Chase Brown is, again, it comes down to like, how do we define breakout?
It's not a breakout player. Tell him, Caleb. Tell him that's a bullshit answer.
It's not a bullshit answer. I mean, if he sets a single season record, that's not bullshit. That's not bullshit.
It's a bullshit answer. Go ahead.
Let's go the show.
I agree with you that like by the end of this year, Chase Brown could be like one of those dudes that
I think so, yeah.
That like league wide you look at and you're like, you want him on your fantasy team. Although I do wonder about that part because the Bengals have been very, very clear about, wanting to do like running back by committee is almost like an old tired term at this point, but like they're not like a featured back type of system, and they don't even care to be that.
Right.
But I think Chase Brown could be one of those dudes where, like, if you're talking about who are the best running backs, the most, just the best running backs in the NFL, like he's one of those guys that he could be in that conversation by the end of this season. And if that's the case, and that's how you want to define breakout, I'm with you. I've 100% am with you on that boat. I'm with you. Let me go with a guy at that same position, and you're going to have to really redefine the way that you're looking at breakout, right?
Okay.
Like if your guy is Chase Brown, let me throw Taj Brooks in this hat.
I love that guy.
It's like a different type of breakout hat, right? Because you're not expecting Taj Brooks by the end of this year to be like a household name in the NFL. Right. And how many reps is he even realistically going to get in that offense? But can he play a meaningful role in one of the NFL, maybe the NFL's best offense? Maybe. Like as a rookie, and it's crowded. All right, you got Samaje Perine back there, who I think is a guy that Zach Taylor really, really trusts, and that goes a long way. So it's like you've got Chase Brown, you got Chase Brown, you got Samaje Perine. So how does Taj Brooks even fit into that? I don't know, but I've watched him.
I think he's gonna be RB2 by.
I love that answer. I love that answer.
I've watched.
Well, you know like mine? What the hell?
No, you're just weak.
I've watched him run with the threes in training camp, and I'm like, there's just something about the way we've all seen the film of like his college days, but like seeing the way he cuts, the way he hits the hole, the way he almost runs with like a certain like intensity. He's quick. Just something about that guy where I'm like, he's going to be fun to watch. I'm excited to see what he can bring to the offense.
I love that answer, and now I'm changing my answer. You can't change because a breakout player, it's a guy off the radar. I'm going to say Isaiah Williams because I think he can beat out Charlie Jones. He can be our punt returner, and he's made some plays in camps. I think he's a sneaky guy to be that extra wide receiver, put him in the slot, but also as a punt returner, I think he's better than Charlie Jones as a straight punt returner.
I like that. I like that pick. That's a good one.
Ah, damn it.
Yeah, Jeff. Come up with something, Jeff. Come up.
I'll come up with this. I got a $2 super chat from Fuzzy Balls. How about that? And I am excited about this too. I'm excited for the 4 wide receiver set, Yoshivash and Burton. And
Isaiah Williams.
And Isaiah Williams. Yes, I agree with you, Tim. Sign Shamar.
Would Jermaine Burton be a breakout candidate?
He could. He could be because of last year, or would I have a question for this? Could he?
Oh, Shamar signed. Stewart signed. He's here. He's here. He signed, boys.
He did? Oh shit! Everybody say he signed. Holy crap! Get out of here.
Well,
good.
Woohoo!
Tom Pelissero, the Bengals, the number 17 overall pick. Shamar Stewart have agreed to terms on his fully guaranteed 4-year contract per his agency. After a lengthy standoff over contract language, Stewart got improved payout language, can now get on the field.
Hell yeah.
Well, on that note, I'll give you a few more minutes here. I'm probably going to have to hop.
If you got to go, you got to go.
Yeah, go do your thing, Caleb.
Let me hop off of here if you don't mind.
Yeah, it's kind of breaking news, Caleb. I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, guys.
Shout out the show on Channel 9 that you heard about on Sports Strawberry Ice. You know.
Yeah, Bengals and Brews told you about it.
He drinks and he knows things.
He drinks and he knows things. Cam, appreciate you, brother. I'll see you tomorrow. You gonna be down there?
Bengals and Brews gets all the credit on this one, right?
That's bullshit.
Yep, that's right, nice man. You heard it here first.
Damn it. All right, Cam. I'll see you tomorrow, brother.
See you guys.
See you, brother. Great.
Fantastic,
man. Fantastic.
Right.
And good news. Good news.
I don't have Thomas Shamar Stewart anymore. Yes.
Man, and they were probably watching the show, to be fair.
Oh, totally.
And my impassioned plea of like, if he holds out any longer, and you said it too. I said it at 3:30 on my show. But if he holds out any longer, it will be a wasted season.
Yeah,
it's not going to be a wasted season. He'll be here. He's here now.
Thank God. I cannot wait to see 97 out on the field. I'm like, all right, now let's get Trey done and let's get this fucking Lombardi. Let's go. I'm ready.
Oh, I'm excited. What great news to be broken.
Hell yeah.
Live on Sports and Strawberry Ice. And the chat was all over. I just seen the chat. It's like 3 people. I was like,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Tim was here. He was the first one. He's like, Shamar signed. It's like, yeah, we need to sign Shamar. And I'm like, oh, no. And then you're like, no, he signed. And they're like, bam, he signed. He signed. And I'm like, oh, crap. I'm like, all right, cool. And then, of course, Poor Chop wants to make sure that Greg knew he was late.
Greg, you were late.
You were late.
Greg. Yeah.
I got you, Chop. I told him he was late.
No, good, because we need that in there. Yeah, and they kept fuzzy balls. You're right.
Greg says
they kept the void language. That was something as I read that from Tom Pelissero. Oh yeah, that's still in there.
So they came.
It says Stewart got improved payout language, so he'll get
more money.
Yeah. So the Bengals were like, let's end this, do this, compromise with us, but we're keeping this in.
Right. We'll give you, which is kind of what I said. I think me and Skinny were talking about it yesterday. I said, can't you do it more guarantees or more bonus money? We'll give you a little more on the front end. You just signed the contract with the wording in it. So Fuzzy Ball says Shamar 420.
And Jordan Schultz, the Bengals first round DN Shamar Stewart finally agreed to a 4-year worth $18.9 million, 10.4 signing bonus. Now officially under contract and ready to go to Cincinnati. The saga is over.
So Pork Chop says he's giving away a Shamar Stewart from my shop on Monday on Brews. So there you go.
There we go.
And Ken wants to know what a wink is.
I have one of those.
It was Tom Paracello, I think was that's who tweeted it out there first. Yeah, that's who you saw.
Yeah, it's Jordan Schultz. It's everybody.
Yeah.
Like I don't know that Ken has Twitter, but I'm sure Facebook.
Oh, Ken's got Twitter. He's blown me up on Twitter.
Okay. I was going to say, if not, Facebook will have it. Facebook will have it in 2 days.
He says Ken says they got cap space for Hendrickson? Yes, they've got plenty of freaking money to sign both of them. Yes,
this doesn't change cap space at all.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, they've got enough money. Let's get Trey done. Let's get this thing going. One down, one to go. Let's
roll. Man, if they get Trey done,
dude, I was seriously like, dude, if you don't get in here soon, I'm like, you're gonna ruin your damn rookie year. I'm like, you gotta get your ass in here.
They were watching Jeff. They were watching us talk about it. His agent was like, you know what? You're right. You're right. You got it right.
Dale and Ice were right. We're good. I was wrong. Just go ahead.
Yeah, sign it.
Actually, who knows? I mean, Game On said on your show that Shamar's dad's jumped in on their spaces, which I'm like, really?
Mo was probably watching. He's like, you know what? You're right. You're right. I am the guy around him. And I'm going to tell him sign it because don't waste the rookie season, son. Yeah.
Natty's jumping in. Deal is done. Yep, we know. Where you been at, Natty? We broke the story to Caleb No for Channel 9 Sports about 2 minutes ago.
He had to go immediately. It's almost like he has a job.
I know.
Sports related on.
Yeah. See, this is why we should get paid for this. We're breaking news right here. Breaking news.
Fantastic. Which is fantastic. Fantastic breaking news.
Cheers to us. Oh,
yeah. Cheers.
Let's go.
Perfect timing, right before the show ends.
Yeah. We're gonna watch a movie that I've been waiting for 30 years.
Is that Fantastic Four, Superman, or something else?
Happy Gilmore 2.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna watch that too. I'm about to say I can't. Superman, I have to go to the theaters. Fantastic Four, the theaters. I do hear good things about both of those. I do plan on watching them.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to theaters and watch both of them. The funny thing is, Fantastic Four is like, because I think this is the second or third time they've
third iteration.
Yeah, because they did it when my son Chandler was little. Yeah. They did it.
Jessica Alba.
Oh God,
Jessica Alba.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That was. That's right. I liked watching it. Shh.
Yeah. Oh, T-Brookie, you're right. There will be a lot of emergency podcasts upcoming.
Yeah.
Greg will probably be messaging me wanting to do one, but
we don't have to do an emergency podcast. We're already on. Shamar Stewart is signed, baby.
Ooh, G space C3. Fantastic Four was pretty good, and it was under 2 hours.
Ooh.
I kind of like that. A lot of movies are like, let me go 2.5, 3 hours. And you could cut out a lot of bullshit by hitting under 2 hours, man. That's how we grew up. Yeah.
Ken here says, get it done. Hendrickson, $105 million total for 3 years.
I think it'll be higher than that. I think.
So what does that work out to be? I don't do numbers. What does that work out annually or yearly?
Just a little over 30 per year.
I think he's between 30 and 35.
35.
Yeah,
no, 30, I think he's at 35.
You think he's at 35?
35.
Okay.
Do you think
it's a 2? But I don't think the Bengals are going to go over 2. That's me.
Well, it's all about guaranteed money. It sounds like they're saying 3. I don't know if the 3 means this season and 2 more, or if it means 3 added to his deal.
Because that's the thing they could do is they could tear up this year's contract and then just go 3 on a new contract. I don't see them doing that. I see them making them play out this one and then 2 on top of that would make it 3 total. So if he's at 30, which it just kills because when I first started talking about it back in February or March, I thought he was at 28, and then Crosby came out and got 35, and then it went up from there. So yeah, I've said third. I think the Bengals between 30 and 35, but Trey might be at 30, which I mean, if you really
my bad, 105 divided by 3 is 35.
Yeah,
to be fair. So is that a 3-year extension at that? I still think it's going to be a little more than that. Like it'll be 36 per, 36 and a half per.
GC3's got a question here. Does it feel like Trey lost some leverage with Stewart signing? No, I don't. Oh, I don't. I still don't know what.
I don't.
I keep saying that. I still don't know what leverage Trey has because is he really going to miss multiple games to not play on this? Because I'm going to say the same thing I just said about Shamar that he's got to come in. Trey misses games more. I think he missed like 6. All that's going to do is hurt him.
Missing practices is hurting him. Ice. He is getting fined. It's at least $50,000 per day.
The reason I'm saying missing games is going to hurt him because he's going to have less games to be productive. To prove if he doesn't sign, they don't sign. Less games to prove that last 2 years that he's not going downhill. You need if you're hell bent on getting $35 or $40 million, and the Bengals are hell bent on not giving to you, you need to get your ass in here and start playing so you can prove to your next employer that you're worth this. That's where I'm at with. That's where I'm like, I don't see how him missing games will help him at all.
It wouldn't. But it's also, I was thinking of it from the fine standpoint. He's getting fined every day he's not in camp. I think it's like $50,000. Yeah, and if he misses a game, it's a lot more than that.
Kenneth says the ICE they should incentivize the contract. Oh, I'm sure they will, but it's more. Trey wants guarantees. Trey's to the point where he and somebody told me it's like, oh, well, you have a 3-year guarantee. And you're lucky if you see, the third year money. That's why these guys want these guarantees. It's all right, but the Bengals started it. They guaranteed Joe's money. They guaranteed part of Trey's money. They guaranteed part of Chase's money, and they guaranteed part of Knight's money in the second year as a second round pick. So they're guaranteeing money. And Trey's like, "Yo, I'm leading the NFL at sacks. Where's my guarantees? And he's up, and he has a point. I mean, he does have a point. So
that's how I read this, but just to clarify, Jordan Schultz also said it, and this is a guy who had the news with T and Jamar. He was the insider that broke that news, but he says the Bengals ended up getting the language they wanted, so that's confirming it.
Okay. And
in exchange, Stewart will be getting more money from his signing bonus on an earlier date. Why didn't we have this done prior to this?
Dude, I've been saying that. I'm like, just give him more money somewhere else.
Same.
Right. I don't. It's
whatever.
Why does it seem so simple to us?
We're gonna be happy that it's done. And now if Trey gets done, we're gonna be ecstatic.
If Trey gets done, we're going to Midwest Best and we're partying, baby. Yeah? No? Okay. All right.
Yeah, I mean, that's a long way for me. I hate to commit to things. I'm not big on commitment. Marissa's lucky she locked me down early because I don't commit to anything anymore.
I know. I'm like, hey, Dale, you want to go do something? Man, it's 2 hours away. I live in Portsmouth.
Also, just don't commit. I just don't commit anymore. Nothing good happens.
T. Berkey here says Trey Hendrickson is fine. 140.
$104,768 for not attending the mandatory camp of the Cincinnati Bengals. This amount is calculated as around $50,000 for each day he misses the camp.
Yeah, I don't do numbers, so sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there you go. Anyway, great news. Shamar is signed. Hopefully Trey happens quickly, and then he can drive. Hopefully he doesn't drive back from Florida. He just jumps on a plane and gets back
right,
here.
Much quicker. Why would you want to drive?
Which hopefully Shamar is getting on a plane and coming back from Texas to here, so he can practice tomorrow. Crip here says Trey
I disagree.
I
don't. He's not looking to reset the market. He has come out and said that.
Yeah, he's not. No, he's not trying to be the highest paid guy. He said that. I mean, I think the Max Crosby, what has helped him is Max Crosby was the high one. And then they kept stacking on top of that. He's like, all right, well, I just want to be here, which is way higher than what he got before.
Right.
Anyway.
He wants to, and it's like everyone that comes out, but I can still say I'm under the top guy. So I'm helping you out, but give me my third year guarantees.
Yep. Exactly. Yes, Ken, the Panther on Monday. I'm ready. I'll be there. All right, Dale. I'm gonna get the hell out of here. I appreciate. I'm so happy you were on here when this happened. This is good. This makes my day. And Caleb Noel from Channel 9 got breaking news on Sports Strawberry Ice and Bengals and Brews.
Yeah, just Bengals and Brews. He's like, I drink and I know things.
What?
He's only giving me credit.
I know it's bullshit. It's my show. What the hell?
It's crazy.
All right, brother. Hey, what do you got next week? Plug some stuff real quick. You got anything?
No show Monday because
your draft stuff coming up, right?
Yeah, I do a Wednesday show, and then I have a show Friday, Bengals and Brews, and whatever. Just whatever, Just find me or don't is what I say.
Watch his draft show. He's really good.
Watch it or don't.
Words of wisdom by Dale.
It's not going to put any more pocket in my money either way.
Pocket in your money?
Money in my pocket. You're right. I did say that in the reverse. The beer is hitting. Imagine if it was rum. Imagine how fucked up I'd be if I was.
Yeah, it'd be rum Dale. All right, brother.
Thanks for having me on, brother.
Yep. See you, dude. Hooday. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed that as much as I do. That was awesome. Shamar Stewart is signed. I'm so happy. Gotta get Trey in here and get this thing going. Thanks for watching. I've been live streaming on YouTube, Facebook, X, Twitch. You follow me on all those, along with Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. I will be pulling a sound off later on tonight. You can check it out. It's on BeanPod, Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, Stitcher Play, pretty much wherever you get your podcasts. Do me a favor. Please make sure you rate, like, and review. Leave a 5-star review and a comment so more Cincinnati fans can find my podcast. Shout out to sponsors of my show. I don't know why I snapped there. That just came out. But they are as followed. Permanent Lawn and Landscaping. You got grass you don't want to cut. You got shrubbery you don't want to trim. Hell, you maybe want some shrubbery planted. Some trees trimmed. I don't know. Anything. Anything. Lawn and landscaping required. Think Priority Lawn and Landscaping. Don't think it. Call them at 513-430-6114. That's 513-430-6114. And tell Johnny you heard about them from Sports with Strawberry Ice. All the shows brought to you by T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out their website at www.tproperties.llc for all your rental property management and your rental needs. And, of course, Meyer Windows and Doors. You can check their website out at meyercincinnati.com. I got them in my house. I highly recommend you getting yours. Energy efficient, easy to clean, great looking windows. Meyer, window, door, and more. And of course, my favorite brewery, Moorline Lager House, right there on the banks. We are going to be doing our road and home tailgates there at the banks. The tailgate is going to be 3 hours before every home game, just like it was last year. It's going to be down in the beer garden. So it's going to be a lot easier to find us. We're going to have DJ, giveaways, all kinds of cool stuff. Make sure you check out Moorline Lager House between now and then. Go drink you some delicious Moorline beer. Again, Moorline Lager House. You guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you Monday. Cap will be on. Maybe I'll get Corey on. I've got tickets to training camp on Sunday. So you guys see me come and say hi. I'm going tomorrow, but if it's as busy as it was today, I might go up on the bridge and watch it, is what I'm saying. Because there's a lot of freaking people down there today. But you guys have a great weekend. I'll see you Monday. Remember this, Houday for life. And throw it up. That's just sports, baby. See ya! Another great show. You guys still here? The show's over. You can come back tomorrow. I'm out of here. See ya.